now that I've been drinking these, the the peat doesn't really stick out on the nose anymore, right? You know, the first time you smell peat is it just really stands out, but as you start tasting peaty stuff, you kind of stop tasting the peat and you start tasting other flavors and other aromas. Welcome to the blind battle of the cask strength peated ex-bourbon Scotch whiskies. I'm your host Sam, and this is Whiskey and SV. All right, tonight I'm super excited because I'm going back to my first love of Scotch whiskies, which is peated Scotch whiskies. As I've told you before, I got into whiskey collecting and enthusiasm, I should say, by drinking and experiencing Laphroaig 10, the regular one, for the first time ever. And of course, the first whiskey on this list for tonight is the cask strength version of that same whiskey. This is a batch 13. It is at 57.9% alcohol by volume, which is almost 50% more than the base one, because I think the base one is 40%. Actually, in the US, it's 43%. So we're still talking about like 40% more ABV on this bad boy. Second, we have here is something that's probably actually not very strongly peated. It's the Kilkerran Ex-Bourbon. Um, Kilkerran has a a heavily peated version, but this is not heavily peated. But it's I think it's peated enough that I think it should do okay in this peated ex-bourbon world. So let's see how that goes. Next, we have the Octomore 12.1, and this one is also ex-bourbon, and it comes at 59.9% alcohol by volume. Actually, let me go back to this one. This one was 55.8%, so it's probably the least peated and the least ABV here. Okay, finally, we have the Ardnamurchan single cask, and this one is the 800915 cask 578. I reviewed a sample of this recently, and there's a little bit still left on the sample, so I thought I'd put it in here because it's bottled at 58.1% ABV, and I think it's going to be a good addition to this. So what they have all in common here is that they are Scotch whiskies that are matured and aged in ex-bourbon casks, so they don't have other cask influences. And for the most part, I think they're pretty much heavily peated. I mean, this is obviously very well known. The Octomore line is very well known for being heavily peated. Of course, Laphroaig 10 is very well known for being heavily peated. And as I said before, the Kilkerran probably not as heavily peated, and the Ardnamurchan also not super heavily peated. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour them out into, I'm going to pour half-ounce samples. I have 4 of these measuring cups, which I can use for pouring these out. And usually I just like eyeball it, but I think I want to be a bit more precise, so I can't like guess by the amount that's there. So I'll put like half-ounce samples, and I think with that we can be kind of sure that things are not going to be unfair in any way. So I don't know why I poured the Ardnamurchan first, but it is what it is. So I'll put this aside and I'll get a new one that I will use for the Octomore. Now the Octomore comes in this fancy schmancy bottle, as well as the the tube. So this is what the bottle looks like again. Pretty cool bottle. This is, if I'm not lying, quite expensive. I think the Ardnamurchan goes for about 120 after taxes. This the Octomore is significantly more expensive. I think it's something like 200, if not more, after taxes. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's worth it or not. I have quite a few Octomores, but I have not opened a lot of them yet. So for some reason or another, I've just been like drawn to the fancy looking tin, but just haven't got around to opening a lot of them. Okay, so let's put this one aside here. Go with this one, and we'll pour out the Kilkerran next. Now, this Kilkerran, as you know, I've told you before, Kilkerran is a small distillery next to Springbank in Campbelltown, and the basically the bottles look exactly the same as the Springbank bottles, except for instead of saying Springbank here, it says established 2004, which is when the distillery was made. It was basically I think it's basically owned by the same people, or at least the workers are the same. Actually, it's not called the Kilkerran is not the distillery. The distillery name is Glengyle, but the main brand they put out is Kilkerran. And I think the Ex-Bourbon is a new one. That just came out like late last year, and they have a sherry version and a port version. I recently ordered the port from Europe, so I might do a review of that soon as well. Okay, so last but not least, oh, that is noisy. Last but not least, we have the Laphroaig 10. Oh, I didn't pour this out. Let's see. Okay, let's pour this out. Okay. I swear, guys, I haven't even drunk anything, and I'm already. It's kind of late, and I've been procrastinating on this episode, so excuse me if I'm a little bit incoherent here. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna put this back in the. Oh, I should probably just show it as well. There it is, and you can see the usual marketing stuff back there. So this is batch 13, 57.9%. And you'll notice that usually, you're probably not interested in this, but I usually keep track of like everything that I get in the bottle. I'm actually so OCD that I keep even the the little thing that I open from around here. So and I have the receipt here, which I got from Total Wine in 5/24/2022, bought for $75.99, total $83.11. So yeah, and I document everything, so that's just the way it goes. Okay, so let me put these away and pour this out. And okay, let's see. I think this Laphroaig is colored. I'm not sure. It seems a little bit too dark to be an ex-bourbon cask. So what I forgot is the caps. So let me grab those. We have the caps here. So we'll go Laphroaig number 1. We'll go the Kilkerran number 2. We'll go Bruichladdich number 3, Octomore, and then number 4 will be the Ardnamurchan. Okay, so let's try not to mess things up. I will just like do a quick messy thing here. Hopefully I don't break these anymore. Okay, so let's put these on. There's no Laylee tonight to do this for us, so I'm gonna have to be extra careful not to break one more of my black Glencairns. So okay, I think we're good. Let's see. Okay, so while that's going, do I need to do anything to prepare? I have my water here because I think it would be good, because these are all cask strength, to put a little bit of water in some of them. I have my palate cleanser ready as well. And okay, I think we're ready to go. So I'm just gonna pick one up in random, and let's go for it. Oh, I checked, but I didn't see. Okay, I think that's kind of I didn't see. No, I didn't see. It's fine. Okay. Ooh, wow, that's very citrusy on the nose. Very obviously peaty. Very very citrusy. Lots of brine and marine characteristics come out. There's also some barbecued meat like kind of flavors. I had some smoked briskets earlier today, so I already have that kind of taste in my mouth. So, but yeah, just a lot of like citrus and kind of like yeah, those types of marine briny type of characteristics. Okay, I don't know if I should uh, smell them first and then go for it, or if I should taste them, because I'm worried that my palate will get blown out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guess that this is not the Kilkerran because it's very citrusy and briny. I kind of remember the Ardnamurchan was very citrusy briny, so I'm just gonna put it here. I'll come back to it though. I just want to smell everything first before I start tasting because I think that once I taste usually I mess up and I can't like really tell things. Oh wow, this is much more earthy. There's like this damp characteristic, not as much peat as the previous one. Definitely some peat for sure, but it's more medicinal iodine earthy, which I don't remember the Kilkerran being. So I'm gonna guess it's the Laphroaig, but it's very earthy. I mean, comparatively, there's just not as much like citrusy lemon kind of flavors on this. Very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna for now put this next to the Laphroaig, but I have no confidence at all. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, this one has a lot less peat, I feel. So just it also has more like earthy kind of flavors, but the fact that it has so little peat makes me think it's probably the Kilkerran. It has some zesty characteristic to it, but definitely not as like peppery and strong as that one. I like this a lot. I'm gonna put this for now next to the Kilkerran. Okay, last but not least here. All right, that is very strange. I was waiting for this one to be the most strong on the nose. I think so far this has been the most strong on the nose, so it makes me wonder if this is going to be the strongest on the nose. But I'm not sure. Let's see. This also does not seem super peaty, which is strange. I thought three of these should be very peaty, and then one of them should be not so peaty. This has also some earthy characteristics to it, kind of like being in a damp cave. Um, yeah, and no, but there's definitely peat in this, and some marine characteristics. Okay, I'm gonna put this next to the Octomore for now. Right. Okay. So I think the one that I was like pretty sure is the right one is the Kilkerran. So let me start tasting this first to see what we have here. Interesting. So on the palate, the zesty flavors come out. Some lemon, lime, kind of like black pepperish notes, like spicy notes. Um, and Yeah, towards the late palate, it gets quite spicy. And then when it goes down, kind of like the lingering taste is an end of a lime kind of characteristic with the pepper still tingling the mouth. I think the pita in this is definitely not prominent. Yeah, it's very briny. It's like sea coastal characteristics. Um, and then that peat plays really nicely into it, but it's not the peat is definitely not dominant. And it doesn't have as earthy a flavor as the nose would have suggested. So I'm fairly confident this is a Kilkerran. I really, really like this. Okay, let's go next with this one, which I thought that was the most earthy. And I always associate Laphroaig with the most earthy. It's very, yeah, it's very like medicinal, earthy kind of notes. Also very coastal. Okay, let's see. That's a very Laphroaig character, I think. Lots of like oak and yeah, this like iodine um, earthy note that comes out. and yeah, it's kind of like muddy. Uh, how do you say? Um, it's like, yeah, it's if you have a drink that has lots of sediment in it, and the sediment kind of like sticks to the tongue and it's like super oily. That's like the characteristic here. I really like Laphroaig, man. It's just I don't know if this is Laphroaig, but whatever this is, I think is amazing. Now that I've tasted it, when I drink it, um I actually get like the kind of the lemony, zesty characteristic as well. Definitely very coastal. But that's on the late palate, the that earthy tone is almost unmistakably Laphroaig. So I would be very surprised if this is not the Laphroaig. I want to say this is 85% the Laphroaig. Okay, let's cleanse the palate. So far between these two, I can't really say which one I like the most because I think I just like them for different reasons. I love that mid palate on the Laphroaig. I think it's more oily and it's more punchy. Um, and this is a completely different beast. It's not as minerally oily, sedimenty, but it's also a very interesting flavor profile. So yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, let's go with what I think is the Octomore, but honestly, this is too fruity to be the Octomore. And I always say this, that these Glencairns always remind me of this fruity note, which is kind of weird. So I think I should just stop using them, to be honest. Okay, let's taste it. Well, it's a lot smoother than you would imagine. Definitely not as oily as this, or as much going on as the Laphroaig, or as what I thought is a Laphroaig. Um, there's some fruity notes on the nose, to be honest. The peat is not as strong as you would think. So it leads me to believe that maybe it's not the Octomore, because Octomore is supposed to be the most heavily peated here. So, but the peat profile is strong enough that I'm pretty sure it's not the Kilkerran. It's kind of like a dusty note towards the end as well. Um, honestly, it also has a little bit of what I usually associate with Laphroaig, which is kind of weird. I shouldn't be getting really the same notes. Um, let me come back to this. So this was by far the most like um, potent nose. So now that I've been drinking these, the the peat doesn't really stick out on the nose anymore, right? The first time you smell peat is it just really stands out, but as you start tasting peaty stuff, you kind of stop tasting the peat and you start tasting other flavors and the other aromas. So yeah, I get a lot of like briny coastal characteristics in this. Lots of zesty lime, reminds me of lime skin. There is some youthfulness to it. It's effervescence and goes up through the nose. Um, I would say it packs the biggest punch out of all of these. It's definitely very like peppery, spicy, zesty, very long lingering, somewhat bitter finish. Um, I would I would say that probably that's a sign of youth. Um, if we're talking about age, well, this one is age stated 8 year, the Kilkerran. The Laphroaig is age stated 10 years. The Octomore, I believe, is only 5 years. I'm not sure if it says that somewhere on it. Yeah, age 5 years. So this is a 5-year-old whiskey. It's like so $200, probably more than $200 in the US. By the time you pay for it, it's probably 250 something. uh, kind of expensive. And then this Ardnamurchan for 120, I'm not sure if it has an age. I think they usually do say so 915. I don't know when it was bottled, but maybe '09 to '15, 215, right? So no, actually that doesn't make sense. I'm not sure what 915 means. I have to check this. But I don't think this is going to be. Ardnamurchan has not been around for very long, so I don't think it's going to be a very old whiskey either. Okay, so ooh, that is very pepper forward. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the Ardnamurchan, and I'm gonna say I probably prefer the Ardnamurchan to whatever this is. I prefer this to this. I prefer this to this, whatever it is. I say these two are my favorites. So pretty confident that this is a Kilkerran. Yeah, pretty sure. This Kilkerran basically tastes like Springbank. This tastes like Springbank. So pretty sure that I got that one right. Um, Laphroaig, I feel like I know what Laphroaig tastes like. That's an excellent nose. And that finish is very Laphroaig-y. I just love that. It's just so dusty, ashy, and really oily. I would be surprised actually if it's the Octomore. I would be kind of sad because this is like way too expensive for what it is, but it is what it is. This tastes kind of fruity. I might have got these two wrong to be honest, because this is higher ABV by quite a long way. No, actually they're kind of the same. Interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna say I like these two, but I think this I prefer slightly because it just has much more punch to it. But it does taste more youthful. So yeah, I say final answer. The Kilkerran or whatever this is, my number one. This is a close second. I would say this is third, and this is a close fourth. So those are the numbers. Okay, so let's check them out. Let's see how we did. All right, the first one is number 3. So I got it wrong. So what I thought was the Laphroaig is actually the Octomore 12.1. See, lines are very important. So let's see. What about this? This is number 1. So I basically mistook the Laphroaig 10 with the Octomore, and the Octomore what the Octomore was way better than the Laphroaig in the blind. Interesting. So what's the characteristic that I associate with Laphroaig? Um, the Octomore does better job of doing that characteristic. Okay, this is the number 2. So this one is correctly the Kilkerran. Perfect. Which means this has to be the Ardnamurchan, which is number 4, and of course it is. Good. Okay, so yeah, the Ardnamurchan is by far the most youthful and most peppery out of all of these. Okay, so there you have it. I I thought I know what Laphroaig tastes like, but it sounds like actually the characteristic that I love the most about Laphroaig comes from the Bruichladdich Octomore. So yeah, there you have it. So I guess moral of the story is do more blinds. And okay, gotta go edit this and go to bed. Have a good week and see you next week.